of us are more live than others. I think some of us are more live.
Bro, you gave me some hard cider.
What are you trying to say?
Hey, Cutie Pie, thanks for joining us. Hey,
Cutie Pie. Alright, so let's do some intros. I'm Josh. Bryan.
I'm Bryan.
I'm Josh.
I'm not Joe.
I'm Bryan.
Okay, my bad. They totally don't get it. I'm DJ. Inside joke.
A little bit of inside joke.
A little bit.
A little bit. Almost a little bit.
So tonight, we are here to talk about Kubo the Two Strings.
Yep, we all saw that this weekend.
And
We all saw that this weekend.
Batman.
Telltales. Yes. Very, very cool stuff.
We were, because, we promised we'd talk about it.
Yeah, we filmed on that
3-4
last
weeks
week.
ago.
We all finally got a chance to. We're echoing. Cutie Pie says we're echoing.
Maybe the
2 mics or something.
maybe the camera audio is on too.
For the record, thank you, Cutie Pie. We appreciate it.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Itakiri says we're echoing too, and he seconds it. What's up, Itakiri?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the system sound picking it up from somewhere, which is here.
Right there.
Problem solved.
All right.
How
about that?
Are we still echoing, guys?
Echo.
Echo should be gone.
I mean, my voice still sounds like this, so sorry. Hey, we got a yay from Cutie Pie. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, Bryan.
Thank you.
Good job, Cutie Pie.
It's my day job. What's up, Hito Kitty? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Oh man, my voice will put you to sleep. It's good for something. I will say that. How about that?
Oh, it's good for a lot of things.
Oh.
Hey.
Voice
So
acting.
okay, so
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Wait, Kubo or Batman?
Batman, the Telltales.
Yeah.
Telltale.
Telltale.
Officially,
Telltale.
Batman, the Telltale series.
And then this episode had a specific title too, right? I can see a glare on my glasses.
Realm of Shadows.
Realm of yes.
Realm of Shadows.
Or
Yeah.
Out of the Shadows.
I think it's Realm of Shadows. Something to
like
do
that.
with shadows and.
Shadows and Batman and.
I can't believe I didn't confirm this fact.
That's okay. Either way,
Shadows.
Batman, the Telltales, episode 1. Bam.
Yeah, episode
one
out of
chapters 1 through 5.
yeah. No, 6. There were 6
I thought there were
chapters.
6
chapters.
Sure.
6 chapters.
Oh,
Sure.
Sure. We're starting on Kubo or we're starting on Batman?
Well, let's start with what have you been up to the past week?
What
Yeah.
have we been up to the past week?
Yeah, like what's been going on in the geek world? Did you do anything with hashtag? Any like?
Tell me something exciting.
Pokemon adventures?
Don't put me on the spot,
Putting you
Bryan.
on the spot.
Bryan, take it over.
New lady. Oh. What? No. There's no. Oh, we actually ended up going to karaoke, which was pretty fun.
We did. We went to karaoke.
After watching Kubo.
After watching Kubo, we actually went to karaoke Blue here in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles.
In
Not
Sawtell.
downtown. Sawtell, which is West LA. And we got our
singing on.
Hitakiri's stupid. I don't know what you're talking about.
What tattoo?
What tattoo? There's no.
No, I'm asking what tattoo.
Oh, this tattoo? This okay. I can't show the tattoo. I can't. We're not taking off shirts today.
But yeah, that's
Not
actually
today.
a beastly piece that you've been
appreciate
thinking a
it.
long time on figuring out all the patterns. There's a lot of meanings to it.
One of these days we could talk about it, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of symbolism. It's very Marquesian, very Polynesian. But in the geek world, I don't know, man. We've been nerding out. Apparently, there's an inside joke with like me and females. I don't know what that's about. Bryan's doing pretty well in that category as well. I'd like to say Josh is always saying the Bryan. I feel like Josh always holds it down, but no, just same old, man.
Yeah. What about you, Bryan? What's been up?
What's been up? Well, not the little Bryan, but
Well, not yet.
you got, there's a the reason we're laughing is because there's a funny occurrence of how I got a number thanks to TJ wingman for me, but
we are unstoppable when we wingman each other.
What was funny was the bouncer came out with the paper and it's like, hey, one of the waitresses wanted me to give this to you, and I was like, oh snap! I was like, wow, this is
and my first question was it this girl? Did she say this? You're welcome. Putting it out there.
Clutch. DJ is clutch. So, okay. Back to the question. Anything going? Well, I finished Batman.
How long did it take you? Because you actually did this as a live stream, right?
I did the whole thing live, which you can find on my channel, Beganso. And the total time was about 4 hours 3 hours 45 minutes.
See, that's because you stop when you play it.
But
man.
yeah, I was playing with chat. I would stop at every decision, and then we kind of voted
Right. So
on
I think,
what decision to make. And
I think it took me like 3 hours and 20, somewhere in there.
I want to say it
Maybe
took me
3
like.
hours.
I might be wrong, but I feel like it
then
only took me like 2. Am I wrong? Like
I
whatever.
don't know. I mean,
whatever
I split mine up too.
Okay, whatever the most minimal time to take as far as like making the choices and getting through the game, I felt like I took that time. It wasn't that long for me. It was more like, what would you do? Ha! What would you do? Well, what would you do? Impale him.
let's jump into Batman then.
Okay.
We might as well. We're already starting to talk about it.
Okay. Well, before we move on, anything you wanted to share about your life?
Josh gets down in karaoke. I will share that shit. Oh, you can't cuss.
Yeah, you guys both. Yeah, we can cuss. You guys both. They rickrolled the whole karaoke bar.
Yeah, that was.
Never gonna let you down.
Yeah, you guys
never
were
gonna
like,
make you frown.
We're all like, what?
Hurt you.
But the funny thing is, it's funny in the beginning, and then as it gets going, no one knows the song.
Yeah, well,
and then still going.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so the first verse up through the chorus, it's like, all right, this is awesome.
We're no strangers to love.
You know the rules.
You know the rules, and so do I.
But once you get past that, and that's what's happening. And then after,
and that's what
any
happened.
other guy,
that's what happened.
And then I'll always tell you how I'm feeling.
And then it's just the joke that won't end because you're up there singing and you can't stop.
You gotta do that Rick Roll dance though.
I know.
And
I think like halfway
I don't know
through.
about that Rick Roll dance.
Yeah, like halfway through, I was like, oh, the song is still going.
Never gonna give, never gonna give.
You gotta do the hand stuff.
Never gonna give. That's kind of like the Travolta.
That's all you.
Okay, so yeah, I guess.
Let's talk about Batman the Telltale.
Maybe some Journey next time.
Journey.
Yes, Journey is a must, and so is Bon Jovi. We are doing a Bon Jovi, and we are doing an NSYNC song. There was no arguments to be had because Josh wanted to do some Eminem, and I don't think the atmosphere was meant for that.
It can be though.
It wasn't even a Eminem song. It was like the most aggressive Eminem song there can be.
It's the only one that I do.
I sit back with. This
Okay, we need to change that.
I mean,
like, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. I'm kidding.
that one, I mean, no, I would say the most aggressive Eminem song is probably Stan.
Well, Stan is the deepest song. I want to say.
Yeah,
not the most aggressive, but it's the most like melancholy.
It was kind of the most fucked up.
It's the most melancholy song.
Yeah.
No. There's way more fucked up Eminem songs out there.
What about that one song I was just starting singing? He goes, I sit back with
But it's
this
dirty.
back, I zigzags in this bag of this weed.
I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the papers, the news, and that was the.
Yeah.
So Batman the Telltales.
Batman the Telltales.
Honestly, this is my first Telltales.
Change that scene.
Bam.
By now.
Hey, look at that.
With that awesome.
Yeah, right on your head.
Awesome animation style.
I can.
Oh, see, even Cutie Pie. The song with Kim. That was
yeah.
That's some hardcore.
Yeah.
That's some hardcore shit.
I'll make it a little smaller.
That's some hardcore shit. Yeah. Good call. Good call with the Kim song because that does go hard. But this was my first Batman Telltale's gaming experience.
Telltale
Game experience.
Okay, so this is my first Telltale experience, and I think you've been more introduced to that more than I have, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
for those who don't know, they're known for their story-based point-and-click adventures is what they traditionally call it. It was originally on PC games. They're indie developers still. They publish their games independently, and they're all more like story-based. So you can sit back and play these on your couch.
Like for me, they remind me of like the old, like the LucasArts. Like Secret of Monkey Island or
do you remember
Mansion.
Dragon Lair?
Dragon's Lair.
Yep.
Dragon's Lair was
Dragon's Lair was hard though.
Dragon's Lair was like
so hard.
There was a space version of that one too. I forgot what it was called, but it was those games were
Space Ace.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Same people. It's called
It was Dom Bluth.
It's like quick time events is what they call it these days.
Yeah, now. But like those were Laserdisc. Like those were like they
Old
looked like
school.
CDs. But
That was
like,
the original interactive gaming where like a part of the screen in the animation, so it was a straight cartoon, and part of the screen would flash, or part of the sections, or an object would flash, and you would have to quickly like put your joystick towards it or point the direction of it, and that's how you progress. And I still never played. I never beat that game. I still never beat that game.
I've never beat that one either. And Space Ace I never beat, but like Don Bluth's animation.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I mean it was great. Like everything
Heck
that man does, because like he used to be a Disney animator.
And the
sense.
show.
Oh, he did
and
the King and the Sword, the Robin Hood.
Sword in the
See his
Stone.
style.
And
Sword
then
in the Stone. That's what
he
it's
moved
called.
on. He did, I think Thumbelina. I think Rasputin was him.
Really?
And then I think the last one that he did was...
He did Jungle Book too, I think.
I think so. Titan AE. You remember that one with that?
Was that him?
Oh,
Was it Matt Damon?
I love that. Dude, it's such a classic.
Movie.
Such a classic.
Yeah, that was him.
So anyway, back to Telltale.
Back to Telltale. So this was the first Telltale game that you've played.
Correct.
And which games have you played?
I've played The Walking Dead. I didn't beat it. I played... I'm being honest. I played the Game of Thrones one. I beat that one.
I haven't played that one yet.
That was fun. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you will love it. I highly recommend it. It ties right into the story. It's another family.
The Borderlands one I want to play.
I started playing that.
Like
That's
that
fun. What's cool about that is I wasn't sure what to expect with the story, where it's gonna come from, but you play as one of the Hyperion employees, and you're evil. And like in that corporation, they are cutthroat. They murder for positions, and they go up in there, whatever. And you're one of the guys that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I hate this guy. Yeah. And so it's really interesting.
So,
Denny says I hated this past Game of Thrones season.
Oh,
like this the series on HBO, like that season, or like the game season?
I'm sure. I'm
sure
sure you
you're
meant the season, the HBO season. Because honestly, that's not the first person I've heard say that.
Really,
a lot of people have actually felt like, quote unquote, it's fell off a little bit this season.
I mean,
there was some obvious like really big moments that really broke the internet, but I feel like overall, there's been a lot of people who were more harsher on this season.
I think the big moments in this season for me was good, but like some of the filler episodes in between.
Well, Danny's saying that he feels like it was a placeholder season.
Hmm.
And I can see that.
Maybe.
I can see that.
I mean, it's gonna be weird though, because next season is the last 13 episodes are broken up over 2 seasons, so it's only gonna be 7 episodes one season and then like 6 episodes the next.
But still officially the final season.
Yeah.
I felt like you could already tell that they had free reign where the books had kind of stopped, because some of the episodes started going like a lot quicker, or the style was a lot more energetic or sporadic,
right? Well, because they only have
episodes.
They know where it's going to end, so it's kind of like the end of Lost, where
so I was kind of like,
they once they knew where they were going, it was like, all right, now we have to get there.
Yeah. Either way, I love Game of Thrones.
Good try.
I was trying that one day.
Good try. All right,
so back to Batman.
I'm gonna get
okay.
I would have walked away if I would have got it. I would have just totally left this whole thing.
So, 6 chapters.
6 chapters.
About 2.5 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
If you just play straight through.
Yeah.
You said more wrist action, bro. Thanks to how was that? Thanks to Takiri. That's not the type of wrist action.
Oh.
Thanks to Takiri, I'll work on it.
But
so 6 episodes. Multiple chapters.
Yeah. So what stood out from this episode to you guys? Like what were your feelings on it?
Well, here's a question for you before I get into that. Is this style of animation consistent with all Telltale games?
Yes. Yeah.
So this specific style, it's if I were to play The Walking Dead and the Game of Thrones one, it'd be the exact same style of like animation, kind of like a Disney animation.
Yeah, like that cell shaded.
And it kind of has
like,
a bit
well,
of
not just cell shaded,
look.
but just the actual design,
like the character design. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
Because I love the animation. To the point where I wish it was like the next Arkham game, where I could do more with them and control. Because when I was able to control, for instance, Bruce Wayne and Batman, which we'll get into, that was like one of my favorite elements. You know what I mean? The detective modes or their interaction with Batman. I really love the animation style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that the Batsuit is so cool.
The Batsuit is one of my favorite designs I've ever seen.
It looks so modern that it's weird that the story takes place before Batman like really got into.
Yeah, because this is kind of like the year one.
This is before Penguin, before Two-Face, way before the Joker,
before Commissioner Gordon. Because in this he's
Commissioner Gordon's still like the police and
Lieutenant.
Commissioner Gordon still don't trust Batman yet.
Well, Two-Face isn't Two-Face yet. A lot of the rogues and Batman's rogues hasn't been established yet. So
Hi, Myra. Welcome.
Hey, Myra. Myra.
She's a cast member with the hashtag show with us as well.
Oh wow! oh, that Myra. My bad.
That Myra.
If you look at her profile pic, you gotta see it here.
But no, just the animation style. Period. It's a combination. It's a fusion between Gotham and I would say the Nolan verse, and even like you said, Year One Batman.
Yeah.
So,
well, have you seen the DC animated Batman Year One?
Yeah, it's really good.
Because I kind of felt like this was very similar to that.
Well, it's a very newish Batman. It's a very much less in control Batman, a much more aggressive Batman, a much more still at odds with Alfred type of Batman, because Alfred is still the surrogate, concerned, older father figure, which he always still is. But, Batman's constantly trying to convince him, I know what I'm doing. No one else is going to do this. I got this, even though I'm only a man type of...
You do see the conflicts where he's trying to still figure out, is he going too far or not in his brutality.
Well, and that...
This is for Myra. Straight up for Myra.
But that comes into play with the choices that you make.
Yes.
Correct.
And that could be a big reason why, because that's always been a big part of Telltale games, is it's a choose your own adventure.
Right.
And it's like, depending on your choices, the story will change. You go different endings.
That's one of the things I really enjoy about these series, too, is that offers... like good replayability, because you can go back and be like, all right, well, what would have happened if I would have made this choice instead of that choice?
And I did appreciate the types of choices that you can make with Batman, because even though you could be a less aggressive Batman, or even like your personal maturity with Batman really varies with the choices you make.
So how did you guys play? Like, were you really aggressive? Were you kind of
borderline? Bryan could go first.
Were you?
I didn't hit assholes in the face with a pipe. All right?
Well, I have a clip that I can show of how we played. I played with chat, and our chat, the majority wanted me to all my choices lead to pleasing the female
Vicky
Vale or Catwoman.
People were trying to get
anything to make them happy.
It's like real life. People were trying to get Bryan laid.
Or a girlfriend.
Shut up.
Same thing. Oh no! Wait, what? Oh god! I just can't talk. I can't talk to girls. I
roll the clip. What's
so and the other choice was like everyone tried to like. He's dying because everyone knows it's true. I'm so awkward. It's like Bryan can go around, make friends, and talk to anyone, but as soon as there's a girl that's like somewhat pretty, I'm like,
I make you a solemn swear.
Dude from Big Bang Theory.
I'm like, hi, foot. What?
I make everyone a solemn swear. I'm gonna get Bryan laid and a girlfriend in some kind of order. I promise you. But back to
can we start a pool?
We can after we're done with Bryan and his awesome Batman skills.
I think that needs to go up onto the website. It's gonna be the Get Bryan a Girlfriend pool.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Myra was like, it's so true.
I know everyone's. Anyway,
Myra, seriously, sweetheart, I love you to death. I swear to God, I do. Like, never change. But go ahead.
So the other thing that mainly drove the choices I made with Batman was, in chat we all agreed to try to make the most un-Batman or Bruce Wayne like choices. So we'd go over it and then we'd often be like, okay, that's what Bruce Wayne would say. That's what Batman would say. Neither would ever say this. We're picking that, and that's what we did. And I'll show you a clip from my live stream.
All on the inside.
Oh.
Tell me the plan.
I never point right.
Swinging.
It's not that way.
Oh, I messed up again.
You could only point down.
Oh snap!
So Ryan just hit the crap out of a henchman with a pipe in his face.
I mean, he had it coming.
Yeah, but in his face. And you have the option. Here's the thing: you have the option to hit him in his ribs, to hit a drum barrel, which is next to him, or his face.
If you look, I didn't even like.
Bryan hits the guy with a pipe in his face.
So what did you do?
I hit him in his side. You want to know why? Because it made sense with the dialogue. Batman specifically said, you know, there's a lot of ways you can bleed out without actually dropping a thing of blood. I was like, yeah, let's hit him in the ribs. It made sense to me.
I was just like,
Alright, so what choice do you think I made?
I think you hit the barrel.
here we
Did you hit the barrel?
I hit the barrel.
You hit the barrel.
I hit the barrel.
we broke the arm here.
I did break the arm.
Look at that
I
stern
didn't-
face he has.
You
You can see Hito Kitty's in there too. He's going, oh damn.
Yeah, but Hitakiri is also saying, I know how to apply abuse.
Keep
Not cool.
breaking until you
No visible
With
bruise.
no bruise.
Exclamation
You know what? My bad. Actually, without visible bruises, that means I know how to smack that ass. Okay, I accept that.
You know
Thank
what Hito Kitty means in Japanese, right?
assassin,
Manslayer. Manslayer, literally.
And the only reason I know that is because
Break
shout out
his
to
arm,
Rurouni
yeah?
Kenshin. That's my shit.
Yeah,
That's
that
like
is-
my anime.
hold a gun
Shout out to Hitakiri. But
So yeah, that's a little peek of how the game is. As you see here, there's another choice.
Ooh,
The cops are
should we
coming.
talk to
I can
Corner or
choose to talk to
Gordon or
just
disappear?
disappear.
And
And the chat in general was like, bounce! And we all
so
ran.
you disappeared.
Yeah.
DJ.
you know what? I stuck around.
So did I.
I feel like all my choices I tried to go off of the year one Batman because I wanted to make him as aggressive as possible in order for him, because you know, like the new school Batman or the established Batman is not boring, but he's almost too cool for school.
Yeah.
I've always appreciated any version of the early Batman where he's not necessarily in control, where he's much more of a loose cannon.
See, that's why I kept everything kind of borderline in this episode, so that later on when I snap, it's more of a
Yeah.
A more extreme.
yeah,
change
exactly.
Where you really snap. Then he says, "This is not the Batman I grew up with."
Kinda.
Batman
Yeah.
the Brave and the Bold. That's a completely different Batman. Batman 66.
Yeah.
So that was also a completely different Batman.
I still go back to Batman Year One.
Yeah.
Batman Year One is probably the
I mean,
closest thing.
Batman the animated series Batman was pretty. Like, he fought the villains, but he didn't really attack anyone unless he was attacked, or he was preventing someone from being
In
attacked.
the animated series?
Yeah.
But even that Batman had his own progression because it started off as just Batman, and then it went to Batman and the Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Right.
So by the time it got to the Adventures of Batman and Robin, that was him like really barking the orders, and Robin being Robin.
That's where you saw
Yeah,
the strategist
and
side of
eventually,
it.
didn't we eventually get Tim Drake in that one too?
We got Tim Drake, and Tim Drake was a combination of Jason Todd and
Yeah,
Tim Drake. Which
yeah,
was
and we
kinda
got Nightwing.
cool. And we did get Nightwing.
Hito Kiri points out he uses detective skills. Myra says prime focus. I was thinking, that was my deep thought
okay,
area.
so let's talk about the detective skills.
In other
a
words,
little
that is Bryan Focus.
bit. So there was the main part where the detective skills came in were when you went into the warehouse.
the warehouse, and there was also. Well, I mean, I guess it's. Bryan honestly will like follow a fly and try to catch.
Should I get a laser pointer?
No, that's real talk. Bryan would actually chase his own tail and keep going. would not know what to do if he caught it.
All right, so
But
the warehouse.
The warehouse scene was definitely
women.
the most detective aspect. But even like parts of the Batcave, as far as like running the codes and everything else like
Yeah,
that.
see, I was a little disappointed with the detective aspects of it.
Oh really?
Because it
Did
was.
you expect more?
I expected more puzzle based stuff. Because for me, like, it was okay, it's got a pointer over here. It's like, oh, you should go and look at this thing. Oh, right, now you should go look at that thing. And then it's like, all right, now you got to connect the dots. But, like, where you were connecting the dots to felt very, like,
That's true.
like it was holding my hand. It was
Yeah,
like, here, these.
It
these
wasn't.
are
It wasn't
the-
much challenge to detective. Part.
Yeah.
I was expecting more. And to explain to those viewing and listening, there would just be indicators. You'll see the crime scene and you see circles. You can mouse over and you click on it and it'll just say what it is. Oh, this is a guy who died from this. Oh, this is obviously an explosion mark. And then they give you an option to click one evidence and link to another one. And if
And,
if they connect, then something will happen. If they don't,
Right.
then nothing. And
Well, here's the thing. Did you guys connect anything that didn't connect? Like, did you not link to the right thing at all?
I didn't. I felt like it. I don't know if I could have.
No,
See,
no, you
same with
can,
me.
but I mean, unless you know that.
It was just
really,
like-
I'm the only one. F you guys, but no, but there was a couple times where like it would say like this link isn't a strong enough link, but like by the second time I would get it. I guess I would still go back to other Telltale games because since this is my first, I don't know what to compare it to.
Right.
So I guess my question to you guys is, because to me it was consistent with the rest of the game. The rest of the game is not complex at all. It's very simplistic.
Yeah, well, it's very story driven.
Well, it's very story driven, but not only that. I mean, the simplicity of it, as far as the detective aspect, it matched with that. It matched with the fighting aspect. Even later in the game, where you got to choose your plan of attack in breaking into the club, in Falcone's club.
Right.
It's very simplistic. It's not that complex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
is other Telltale games like more complex than that?
it depends on the game. It's like I played.
Well, I'm asking, like, for instance, like The Walking Dead, for instance, Bryan.
Yeah.
Like, you've played that. Even like the Game of Thrones one. You've played other Telltale games.
Yeah, I've played the Walking Dead game, both season 1 and season 2. I played the Wolf Among Us, which was really good, and I played the Monkey Island game.
There's a Monkey Island.
There's a Monkey Island game.
That's awesome.
And like for me, like the Walking Dead game was very similar to this, where it is simplistic, but that one felt a little bit more story driven, where I felt like this one should be a little bit more action oriented and detective oriented because of what it is. Whereas with The Walking Dead, it's okay, you're trying to get away from zombies and move on to the next place. So it's like
the dialogue choices. And that is definitely the consistent thing with all Telltale games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then, like, the detective part, for example, in Batman, that was unique to Batman. But each game kind of has their version of that. It's just a little different.
Like Monkey Island, did you play any of the original Monkey Island games?
Oh, the original ones, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, wow, there's a Telltale Monkey Island. I'm
So
like, why?
With the original Monkey Island games, for those of you who might not know, they were old LucasArts games, and they're point-and-click adventures, and they were very humor-driven and puzzle-oriented. So it was like, you have to figure out how to use this chicken on a stick with this barrel of rum to open this door
chicken
or something.
On a stick. Why don't
Why
they make
not?
that and sell it on the street?
They
Wait, they do.
It's called
Yeah.
shish kebabs,
Yeah.
sir.
No, I was imagining
just
like
like
chicken
a whole
tenders.
chicken?
And this is like
I
one
thought you
long
meant-
breaded chicken tender.
I was
That's
imagining
called
like an entire chicken.
That's
Like, just like a whole
rotisserie.
chicken.
That's rotisserie, sir.
No, rotisserie skinless.
No, rotisserie
wait.
means on thing rotating over fire.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I was picturing like a whole like
I'm thinking like a
Yeah.
giant
live
chicken tender.
chicken
Oh,
just on a stick.
so back to the game.
Okay.
I'm gonna take control. I'm gonna take control of this because I mean I'm black. I love me some chicken, but this is going nowhere. So
I was about to say something extremely racist, and I will not.
that is so
I
awesome.
will not.
That is
okay.
great, Josh. We are good friends.
Well,
Like
I mean,
4 or 5 different.
I
cultures in
already
here.
mentioned something about K-pop last week, so
You know what? That's hilarious. Myra says the guy in the suit is probably Bruce Wayne. The guy in the suit reminds her of Archer, which
Oh,
it actually
yeah.
does look like
Yeah.
Archer. It actually really does.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
dude,
Yeah,
could
yeah,
you
yeah.
imagine an Archer game like this?
Oh, it'd be terrible. It'd be great. It'd be great, but it'd be terrible.
That would be so.
That would be
amazing.
funny, especially if they made the choices so extremely different. It's like, oh, okay, you know, Archer's now gonna try to create like.
Well, Archer's character.
So
in the
Archer,
universe is
yeah,
like-
well, it's gonna be Archer. So here's your choice: do you go and you sleep with this girl, or do you drink a bottle of vodka
Sleep.
and then sleep with the girl?
Sleep with
It's-
or in Brian's case, say nothing. I'm so sorry.
Well,
I am
well,
so
no.
sorry.
Well,
I am so
that's-
sorry. I
no,
didn't mean.
actually, no,
I didn't mean that at all. I'm
that's
so
not,
sorry.
that's an option. You can just not answer the
It
question.
is an
For
option.
the
Also
record, for the Batman game I played, the Telltale one, saying nothing is a choice, so that's the reason why I brought that up.
Yep.
Most of the time, I would say the options are 1 through 4. 1
Yes.
through
Yeah.
4. They're either one or the other, or there are 4 options. I would say. Outside of that, during the fight sequences, they're more directional based, or they're button based. And they're command.
like,
they're
hit
just
left,
commands. They're
hit
commands, basically.
Yeah.
And then
Push A&B.
ever so often, there's combination buttons that you push for like maybe the finisher or specific movesets. So, but outside of it, if you're given, for instance, in the Bruce Wayne mode, especially, and that's one thing you need to know about this game. It is literally half Batman and half Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You spend a good amount of time as both. So, when you're politicking and you're trying to help. The DA Dent, Harvey Dent, who isn't Two-Face at this point. And you've mentioned this before, I believe, in your live stream, that basically your choices can determine and really affect the Batman universe, so certain bad guys may not even be bad guys. So
Yeah, and I got
So-
that from E3 when we got to see it.
Yeah.
behind
So
streams.
so
like
the scene that we got at E3 was at the very beginning of the game. There's a scene where you're hosting a party for Harvey Dent to support him
Yeah.
in his bid to become mayor.
Yeah.
So, did you kick him out of the meeting? Or did you
I did not let him
stay?
in the meeting. No,
I let him in the meeting.
So did I.
That's my house.
I didn't.
That's my house. I also did not shake Falcone's hand.
Neither did I.
I shook his hand.
Well,
You know what happened? The reporter saw it. And then the next day
And
when
the
I went to give my
newspaper.
speech, everyone's like, "Hey, I heard the Wave family does deals with the mafia."
for the
And then that
record,
was the
for the
story for
record, the
rest of the
hands
game.
do not do this in the game at all. Just
That's what I would do.
That's what.
No,
Brian-
If
that-
I was a
that's-
reporter in the crowd, I was like, "Hey, I heard you're with the mafia."
No, that's a character from the Monkey Island games.
Shit. no, that's
It is.
That's
It is.
right. But in any case, actually, what's interesting is, I mean, I don't know if any of the choices really had like a huge effect, but I know I did notice-
Mine, I was battling that bad press the whole
But
game.
but the bad press still happened. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
So
yeah,
I mean,
but
so
it
that's what
came
I was about
later.
to say. Like, I don't know if it overall affected anything major plot device.
I
based, but there were little acknowledgments of your choices. Like, for instance, in the very next scene where you see a newspaper on the ground, mine said Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne shunned crime mob boss.
Right.
Mine was the opposite. It was like, "Ooh, Bruce Wayne dealing
I
with the
think-
mafia."
I think
What?
the choices that you make have minor effects on it, but I think you're still, because like in the Walking Dead game, you had the choice of letting certain people live or letting certain people die.
Oh wow,
So in the next episode, if you let someone die,
they were gone.
they were gone. So that affected things. So I'm assuming as you progress through this game and you cause things like the villains to turn into villains, or
Sure.
or you change how they're approaching things, that'll probably continue to change. Like,
Speaking
I think
of
it'll
villains,
progressively change the story.
I made friends with Penguin. We tried to get his back. The chat
Yeah,
and I.
yeah. So did I.
Little cobblepot.
I think I was in good terms. I want to say I was in good terms.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything to like.
I mean, I didn't say like go screw yourself, or I didn't say like I'm Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're kinda
Not that those were the choices or anything. But so I'm assuming that. So okay, for instance, like The Walking Dead. Do you feel like by the second episode, that's where it really gets going as
Yeah.
far as seeing your choices in this episode really play out?
Yeah,
for the rest of it.
This episode felt like a prelude to me. It was
Okay.
almost like a prologue.
Okay.
Like so it was like, okay, here's a little piece of the story
Yeah.
that's going to spiral into all these other directions that a story can go into.
I see. Because right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably still would play it if I didn't know that, just because I'm an animation freak. Like, I love good animation, and I love the universe that they established. Like, for instance, we mentioned Cobblepot, and
Yeah.
this Cobblepot was very much more like the Gotham TV series, the Gotham Cobblepot. He's not short, he's not stumpy, doesn't walk with a limp. He's definitely not the
Not
Arkham.
yet.
He's not like the Arkham series,
Right.
Penguin.
Yeah,
or,
he's not Burgess Meredith. He's not
Danny DeVito. He's just a chum that Bruce Wayne grew up with.
I could be him. He
You-
was like
you-
a
you
dude like
could be.
my age. Like,
Are you sure you're not?
I've never seen you two in the same room. All I'm saying is it was very much established that and I love the way they. To be honest with you, I love the way they craft the approach to the series, just because even like the narrative is through flashbacks. Like, we don't necessarily need an origin story to know it's Batman, and I feel like
Right.
they're counting on the fact that you know a little bit of the lore, but still. Whoever they introduced, like for instance Catwoman, they were able to introduce her, kind of create a backstory. There's not much known about her, and then they're smart enough to know each other's secret identity, type of thing. They have this good moment at
that
the
was a
cafe.
cool moment.
Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
when Batman and Catwoman met. And
Selena.
at the cafe, Selena, you
Yeah.
know, she had a little bruise on her thing, and he had to scratch, and
Yeah,
she's like,
and-
and
yeah,
he's like,
they had
and
that.
it's
And
like,
they kind of put two and two
so,
together.
what were
It was
you
like,
doing last night?
oh, exactly.
And they had that little verbal like tease. She's like, I could tell everyone, right?
And what's
now.
really cool is they had a moment where they kind of just look at each other, and then the next thing that comes out of her mouth is, "It's nice to see the real you." And one of your choices is like, "Don't tell anyone," or "It's nice to see you too," or "So what are you doing here?" So I mean, I feel like the character
Yeah.
establishment's really. I like the approach.
That was
Even
cool,
with
yeah.
Penguin, they introduced him by showing a flashback picture of young Bruce and young Penguin, as far as being childhood friends, and
Yeah.
we see Penguin's life choices went in a different direction. So he is a petty thief, and he's involved with a criminal element.
But then you find out why that happened as well. You find out that his family had a fortune because you're
Correct.
in Cobblepot Park.
Right. Which is run down at this point. So it used to be more prestigious, and it used to mean something. It used to be a place of stature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had statues and like monuments, like a mural or
Yeah.
wall, and now it's all
Now
homeless there.
it's run down.
Run down.
Homeless people are sleeping there, bumming there, and
Burning
people get
barrels.
mugged there.
Yeah.
And people get mugged there.
Oh yeah, because we almost did.
And then Penguin saved us.
And then Penguin came in.
Penguin comes in with the. He smashed some heads.
This Penguin can fight. This
Yeah.
Penguin can fisticuffs.
Yeah, I was like, whoa! He just
smashed that dude's head against the statue. Yeah,
skull into that thing.
Yeah.
So a much more aggressive Penguin, much more competent Penguin. But go ahead.
The move.
So I was going to ask. So where are we moving into the next episode?
So the episode ended up with a showdown with Falcone. So far until the episode 1, the biggest plot devices are Catwoman's trying to steal something with a big, a big crime.
Some data.
Yeah, it
hasn't been really revealed yet.
It's almost like in Batman v Superman, where Batman was going after that data disk, and Wonder Woman got it from him. This is like the opposite.
Same kind of thing. Yeah.
Catwoman had this data thing, and Batman got it from her.
Which is part of
and
the bigger
she stole
picture.
his grapple gun, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, switchy."
Yeah, just like that. So, so we know that's going to be part of a bigger plot, but beyond that, so there's a lot more of Gotham involved as far as Harvey Dent's campaign to be the next mayor.
Speaking of Harvey Dent, Hitakiri points out that he is like a buff anime boss.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, his jaw is huge.
He was a linebacker. So was Commissioner Gordon. They were both like.
Commissioner Gordon had some beef, but then again, who's playing Commissioner Gordon in the new universe right now? The movie version, like he got jacked. The guy that played Spider-Man, J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I can't think of the guy's name, like the actor.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Wait, he got buff?
He's huge.
Really?
Like there's sets of him like in the gym. Like pull that up. Like the dude
I have to pull this up.
I have to see this too. I can pull it up here.
No, please, because the dude is like, I feel like I got some catching up to do.
First Google auto fill is J.K. Simmons buff.
There you go.
Really?
There you go. No, because like the hype is real. J.K. got huge. Not just kind of.
Yeah, it is. Look at J.K. Simmons.
No,
buff.
not that picture. There's another one. Nobody looks good doing a chest fly. First of all, there you go. There you go.
That's insane.
There you go.
That beard is ridiculous.
Yeah, right. That's Master
like
Roshi.
this one?
That's Master Roshi.
Okay, I'm gonna save this. Let's see if we can put this up on the stream real quick. Oops,
Oh my god.
No, I mean, dude, I'm surprised you haven't. It's like it's not photoshopped. It's like all Mr. Simmons, my man.
I mean, he's always been
He's always been in shape.
Yeah, but this is
bodybuilding.
crazy.
This is straight up jacked.
Here he is.
There you go. So you saying that Commissioner Gordon, looks young and healthy and fit? Guess what? Our movie version of Commissioner Gordon looks like he could
Look at those guns.
You know what I'm saying?
Holy cow!
This Commissioner Gordon.
Wow.
This Commissioner Gordon would bust some heads in Gotham. All right.
Dang.
So I'm really interested to see what he's doing in the movie now.
Itzukiri says his arms look like my legs.
You know what? His arms look like all of our legs. That's
Man.
He been doing the work, and it shows and it pays off. Like the guy's huge.
Myra says P90X works.
Well, maybe.
I mean, that gives me a little bit of hope that
Oh, dude. I mean,
I can.
There's hope.
Oh, there's always
We just gotta
time
eat,
and effort.
Yeah, just
Whoa.
gotta eat.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not the answer.
It's like 80% diet. You just gotta
I think
eat
my
right.
bigger
gotta
question
not
though is
eat and
what's
not
up
eat.
with that beard?
He is gay. He's not on set yet, and he doesn't give a crap.
But I mean, that's a bitchin' beard.
It's a pretty epic beard, man. If they ever made Santa Claus like the Zack Snyder version, that'd be the one. That'd be the one.
Well,
So back to Telltale. So
back to Telltale.
So the main plot device is Harvey Dent campaigning to be mayor.
Mm-hmm.
and there's tons of and that's the other thing that I like about the Telltale games is that there's all these little side stories that are happening at the same time. So you've got the Harvey Dent thing. Now you've got the Falcone thing.
Falcone thing.
You've got at the end of the episode, you've got
Even the media thing.
Yeah, the media thing with Vicky. You've got the love story with Vicky Vale. You've got the possible story with
I
Catwoman.
don't think they really implied that much. Did you pick Vicky Vale? Because there's a part in the game where you get some really strong evidence, and you have a choice to give it to either Jim Gordon or Vicky Vale. Which
I gave it to Vicky Vale.
You gave it to Vicky Vale.
I gave it to Vicky Vale.
So
who
how
did
did
you give it
to? Lieutenant Gordon.
Bryan?
Vicky Vale, because
You were trying to get laid.
yeah,
Like Anyways, so what happens if you give it to Vicky Vale? Because
if you give it to her, she's like, "Oh, this is awesome. You know, this is a bunch of information that we need. This is gonna put Falcone away."
And he's like, "I'm looking for an ally," and she's like, "Well, you got one for life now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes."
So say that again, Brian.
You got one for life now.
Just like that.
And I went, "Yes."
Brian's like, "Give me them panties."
What happens when you give it to Gordon? What happens when you give it to Gordon?
Something kind of similar. I mean, I'd say
He's like, "Bros for life."
Bros for life. Well, you put hoes up first. So. But no, with Commissioner Gordon, you have like the scene on the bridge where you give him the evidence, and he's kind of like, "Wow, this is like the unicorn, or this is like the silver bullet. This will put Falcone away for a very long time. But just understand, I still gotta do my job. But thanks, call me Jim." That whole little scene as far as just kind of getting in his good graces. So, but what happens with Vicky? Like, do they imply like there's more of a romantic interest type of thing?
I mean, I feel like there's an underlying type of thing there, because I mean, you know that like she was one of his love interests early on.
Well, yeah, but I don't feel like Telltale's like. Well, I don't think the game has really delved into that yet. That's why I'm asking.
Not like majorly, but like I think you can tell that there's a little bit of something there.
Well, how about the end where? Okay, so again, there's multiple plot devices where you have the mayor running. You have Falcone, which is the mobster thing, and then you have the media, which is slandering the Wayne's name because something got leaked to the presses as far as the Waynes being connected to the mob.
Which was most likely Falcone.
Which was either Falcone or Mayor Hill, which is the existing mayor, or it might be both.
They alluded a lot that they could be working together.
They could be in cahoots.
And even Falcone at the end was like,
Falcone
you sold me out, maybe.
And Falcone was claiming that he didn't know anything about that, too.
But it could also be Penguin related, because when you meet up with Penguin, your childhood friend, he does imply that there's something happening, and I just want to give you, because you're my friend, I want to give you a warning that something might be happening.
But Falcone has that picture of him with Tom.
Correct, but we don't know the context. We don't have that context yet. So it does look bad for the Waynes. It does look like there might be some truth to them having a relationship with at least Falcone, at least back in the day while the Waynes were alive. So this is Bruce's parents that we're talking about,
right?
And Bruce has no idea. He's caught off guard and seeing that. So Falcone has a picture of his parents and him chilling with Alfred in it, actually. Right.
Yeah.
So they were in terms, so to speak. So it actually ends up with some really good voice acting. First of all, I love the voice acting too.
The voice acting is great.
It's really good.
Yeah. I mean, they brought back. Well, no, they didn't.
No,
I was thinking something else.
It's not our Kevin Conroy.
I was for a second. I was gonna be like, wait, no, I was thinking the Killing Joke.
But see, that's another thing. Telltale always consistently has really good voice actors.
No, and it was great because at the end of the episode, Batman comes back. He's really, and again, this is a much more emotionally driven Batman. So he comes back to the cave. He's speaking to Alfred. He's like, "Alfred, what's going on? Alfred, tell me."
That was
much better than I did.
Were there any like Easter egg type things in the game that stood out to you?
Court of Owls. I would say Court of Owls, actually.
Court of Owls. Can you explain that?
There was a scene where during the Wayne Manor hosting of the charity for the Dent campaign, where he talks to, I forgot what their names are, but basically Bruce knew who they were. And there was
family friends.
Old money.
Exactly, old money. And there was a piece of dialogue where she says, "Well, you know, us old families, birds of a feather need to flock together." And then her husband kind of looked at her like, "You're preaching, dear," kind of like, you know what I mean? So I feel like there is a Court of Owls nod to it, because Court of Owls was very much the system of Gotham, the older establishment of Gotham, and the old money, like you said, of Gotham. So
who were really in control of everything.
Exactly, behind the scenes.
And they were called the Court of Owls.
Yes.
I caught like, I think it was like mid episode, there was just the line like from like the Batman movie where he's like, "Swear to me." But he didn't say "swear to me."
You swear to me, Alfred. I think that was actually at the end of the game.
Was it at the end?
I think it was at the end of the game.
There were so many scenes where you could have chosen.
"Swear to me, Alfred, that is not true."
Yeah.
So
and I was like, really? They just had him say that. I was like, that was great.
But you know what, though? They did the same thing. I mean, it might be purely coincidence, but they did the same thing in The Killing Joke.
Really? I haven't watched that yet.
What?
It's good. Well, you know what? I get the criticism, because there is a little criticism.
It's totally different.
It's not totally different, but it did add a lot of fluff that wasn't in the original graphic novel. Because the original graphic novel wasn't that long. But
I was disappointed not to see Robin, the whole movie.
yeah, but it wasn't really his story though.
Oh wait, I keep getting that mixed up with the other thing. Robin gets killed.
Oh, the Red Hood.
Oh
I
yeah,
keep thinking
Red
it's
Hood was good though too.
But no. I mean,
enjoyed
essentially,
that.
the Killing Joke is the biggest shock factor or value of the
It
Killing
was the
Joke.
whole Batgirl story.
Well, it was Barbara getting paralyzed by
Yeah,
the Joker,
turning into a Oracle.
and finding out the Joker's history or supposed history. Going from the Red Hood to being dropped in the chemicals to functioning as the Joker, and everything being based on the concept that everything can change with one bad day. So that was the big impact.
Yeah.
Now
takes one bad day.
exactly, and they actually and Mark Hamill killed that speech beautifully from the graphic novel. Now, where the big criticism is coming from with the animated movie is they added a lot of Batgirl elements that wasn't there before.
Yeah, the romance.
And I don't want to spoil too much since you haven't seen it, but one thing that is already known is Batgirl kind of has a thing with Batman.
Yeah.
So Bruce Tim. So Bruce Tim actually, you really feel like Bruce Tim was really connecting it to the animated series, because in Batman Beyond it is implied that Barbara Gordon, now Commissioner, had a thing with Bruce Wayne too.
Right.
So, and not to mention the animated series Batmobile, both versions actually show in the Killing Joke with no explanations as far as like why,
but it would make sense that they could be in the same universe because it is Bruce Timm, it is Kevin Conroy doing the voice, it is Mark Hamill doing the voice. So
Hitchikiri said with the voice thing, like we might as well just have him say, "Where is he?" Christian Bale style. First of all, Christian Bale style, love it or hate it, he had some iconic like one-liners.
Oh yeah.
Rachel, where's the trigger?
But see, that's one of my things with like BVS where people were like, Martha, why did you just say Martha?
Yeah, see?
It's like, but look at the other movies. There's like,
but did you like or
stuff.
did you not like the voice modulator? Because I liked it.
And this one I thought it was fine because it didn't overdo it.
In Batman v Superman,
in Batman v Superman, I thought it was okay. I didn't like it in The Dark Knight.
He didn't have it in The Dark Knight. He used his voice in The Dark Knight.
Well, no,
all right, guys.
No,
We gotta talk about Kubo now.
Kubo.
We could talk about Batman forever.
We can't talk about
voice
Batman.
acting. This is voice acting.
Transitional.
Segue.
I see what you did there. In the Dark Knight, in the Nolanverse, he didn't have a voice modulator.
He didn't have a voice modulator, but they digitally manipulated.
In
his voice.
production, but it was never really established that he had one. It was it was more like he gargled Bronx, and that was the product.
Yeah, and I hated it. Hated it.
Well, if they alternate, it wasn't much. It was just to kind of give it a consistency. No, but that's about it. I mean, it's not like Batman v Superman.
But I don't know. If you go back and you watch The Dark Knight and then The Dark Knight Rises, you can tell that there is a distinct difference between the way his voice sounded when he was doing that in The Dark Knight versus The Dark Knight Rises.
Which is more of a production thing, though. But at least, but for instance, like in the Telltales, this Telltale version of Batman, you hear him like click something in his neck.
Yeah, he turns it on.
And I love that Batsuit. I mean, I can't get over how good that Batsuit.
No, it's really
While
good.
I love Ben Affleck is the best live adaptation of Batman that I've ever seen from a comic book, and this is the most realistic version of the comic book suit that we've ever seen on screen, because every other version of the Batsuit has been like rubbery, armored, or plated
with nipples,
with sometimes
nipples. No, Hitokiri, that wasn't a booty text. I was just making sure there weren't any emergency messages.
It was absolutely a booty text.
Or maybe you texting me or something.
So if it was you texting him, it was definitely a booty text.
All right, let's talk about this. Kubo.
Emergency.
69911. Okay, what?
Let's talk about this right here. Kubo and the Two Strings.
I'm gonna get it.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if most people realize this whole. Most of it is animated, like 3D.
Well, it's stop
motion, animated. Like,
what I'm really surprised about.
Not really like clay, but it's like a mix of all sorts of stuff.
Well, stop motion, for those who don't know what stop motion is.
Look at that rigging.
I mean, stop motion is literally every little motion that's captured and then freeze, record. Like it's a very.
And that was the case for
it's
all
a very
the characters.
It's a very tedious process.
It's a very intricate process as well.
I used to do that a lot growing up.
A film that I did for like a like one of those like campus movie festival type things when I was in college. We did a stop motion thing, and it was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and it has to be. You know, I mean, it's so much time and dedication and attention to detail, and it's complemented very beautifully with the because there is still CGI in this movie. There is still.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like now there has to be. Like, especially with when they're trying to do certain things.
It is a very dated art. I mean, I don't know if it's as appreciated as it has been in the past. Like for instance, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Was that CGI? Was that stop motion?
That was claymation. So so there's a lot of different things. So stop motion is the format.
Correct.
But then there's claymation, which is a subset of stop motion.
That's related.
But it's absolutely related because claymation uses stop motion to get everything done.
Box trolls with stop motion for sure.
Yeah. But then like Wallace and the Gromit is claymation.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, but still just as tedious.
But
just as intricate.
Right, but with like if you look up at some of these pictures that are going like compared to claymation. Where it's all like everything is like super bendy, and they can move things around.
Yeah,
sure.
Like you think Nightmare Before Christmas, they're all like roundy.
Yeah, exactly. With this, like a lot, some of these are like actual like figures.
Sure.
Yeah, I was surprised at how big they were.
They'll take arms off and put arms on and take it.
And 100% agree with Myra. It's a long process, but the ending results are amazing. And
absolutely.
And you know it was. I mean. I didn't go into the
this
movie.
Kind of stuff is like
I didn't go into the movie knowing it was stop motion. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh, cool.
But once you see the mouth movements and the mannerisms, you're just like, oh, okay, there's some stop motion in there. But of course, it's still complemented by CGI scenery and just the background and landscaping.
Right, like
the ocean and the water.
Yeah, the ocean. Like I still think. I think a lot of the ocean moving was,
and even some of these screenshots, the lighting effects,
those
are all done.
Was physical, but then I think like when the waves come in and you see like the water spray,
sure.
like that part was like the CGI.
But I mean, ultimately, it's very pretty to look at. I mean, I've said this before. Like, it's a very pretty movie to look at, and it's just it's a very ambitious movie because. Not only is it stop motion, it's an original concept. It's not based. It's not based on a story. It's not based on a comic strip. It's not based on anything except a new idea. Very very Orient based. Very Asian based, I should say. Apologies.
It was
very Asian based.
Very Japanese style.
Very Japanese.
The clothing and stuff, but I didn't remember seeing anything related to Japanese. They didn't say the country, the language.
No, I think.
Nor did I see any writing.
Exactly.
But the influence
was just the clothing
yeah.
influence.
I think it was supposed to be
not just the clothing, but the origamis. And,
I think it was supposed to be a very generic Asian style.
Yeah, I get that. Now, I mean, I did mention like in something else that we did that. I mean, I do wish. I mean, the Asian influence is there. Even the Shogun samurai aspect of the armors and the kimonos and even just
the storytelling style
even the storytelling, especially the origami,
the story style too. It reminded me of like classic Asian fairy tales.
Yeah,
like Journey to the East, or the
things
Monkey
with
King.
like the moon.
Right.
Being like you meet as a
the moon
goddess
king
or stuff like that.
Sure.
There's definitely a lot of stories that are
have
that kind of similar epic feel.
Yeah.
Right. So you were saying, I just lost my train of thought. The voice acting.
Oh, you know what? I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a small critique, but. A preference for me is if you're going to do something this, and I get it. There's a lot of reasons why Hollywood does what they do. I'm not saying I always agree with it. Sometimes I agree with it more than other times. But for instance, this movie is very Asian influenced. You could tell the styles that's based in Asia, Japanese culture.
The red-faced snow monkey.
Everything, yeah, exactly.
The shamisen
guitar. Exactly. Now, what I would really love to see is take more risks as far as having Asian actors involved in Asian films. Matthew McConaughey and Charlize Theron. They did amazing, and
super white.
Yeah,
I know they are.
And Ralph
Fiennes.
Exactly.
As the bad guy,
and they did a great job. But at the same time, there's a lot of Asian actors out there that are just as talented. I mean, again, arguably
like
they're
you.
bigger.
Well, I mean,
I appreciate it.
But I mean, for me, like they had George Takei. Was one of the
as
voices.
A cameo.
It was just a voice. Like
why couldn't tease?
Why couldn't he have been the Moon King?
Exactly. No, I mean, and honestly, it was like, okay, I get
like maybe it was a timing thing. Like maybe perhaps he didn't have the scheduling to go in there. But I feel like
I feel like the cameo didn't even pay off though.
No, it didn't.
I mean, we heard one line which is notoriously very George Takei.
It's just George Takei,
which is like his signature, which is like, oh my,
and that was pretty much about it. But like you mentioned in your video that's going to be coming out tomorrow on hashtag that
Five for five.
Ken Watanabe or
Ken Watanabe.
Watanabe.
He
could have been the movie.
This is my feeling. If you need a name that draws, like for instance Matthew McConaughey, fine. I mean, if you really, as a studio head, if you really need a name that draws, fine. Pick either Matthew McConaughey or pick Charlize Theron. But you don't need both. Literally, Ken Watanabe could have been one. Ming Na could have been another. Lucy Liu could have been another. There's a lot of Asian actors
and
out there.
if you look, I pulled up like the cast listing. Right
John
now.
Cho could have been one.
There are so many Asian actors that did do voices for it, but none of them were the headline characters.
And it's disappointing. And it's disappointing that, unfortunately, we still aren't. Like, for instance, we have, like, the Akira reboot still in the works, supposedly, and that's going to be completely white.
Yeah, Jackie Chan, Jet Li.
Ghost. Jackie Chan, Jet Li.
See, I think where this comes up to is the fact that Matthew McConaughey has somewhat of an accent. You can hear his kind of, like, southern accent come out. So it was kind of a conflict now that I think about it, like, with the style.
We were talking about this during the movie, though, too, is that...
So if it was, like, Jackie Chan who has a heavy accent,
yeah,
Jet Li,
well, and I get that.
it fits in. It's
yeah.
It's
Yeah, but guess what? I mean, Jackie Chan, even though he's known for his stunts and his action sequences, he's done voiceover. I mean, he's not as utilized, for instance, like in Kung Fu Panda, but even in Kung Fu Panda, he does that.
Practiced
But he
no accent.
But he scaled it back a
So
lot.
I couldn't tell it was him.
But he scaled it back a lot for even like Kung Fu Panda. Even though arguably it's much less dialogue. But again, it doesn't have to be Jackie Chan. There's a lot of Asian actors out there that don't necessarily have an obvious Asian accent. I mean, yes, you could probably tell who Jet Li is when Jet Li does his thing.
I can do it too.
Right, but like we were talking like during the movie, like we didn't know, like not knowing who the voice actors were immediately offhand, we didn't know that the Beetle was.
We were trying to figure out who the Beetle was for the longest time. We
because,
thought it was George Clooney.
At first I was like, it sounds kind of like George.
Because Matthew McConaughey like scaled back his accent so much, like he sounded like he was speaking without an accent.
Yeah, and he sounded great. I mean, and the fact is,
I don't think I've ever heard him sound like that.
Yeah, that's where it threw me off.
Like in anything in any live action stuff that he's done, like I don't think he's ever.
Well, one of the biggest inside jokes about Matthew McConaughey is the fact that Matthew McConaughey always sounds like Matthew McConaughey when Matthew McConaughey is on screen.
Yeah.
So he's always all right.
That's his very first quote.
That's his first line ever as an actor.
all right.
Donnie Yen, yes, Hitakiri, good call. You know what I mean? Donnie Yen's another
and
strong.
Cutie Pie.
Another strong recommendation as well. So there's a lot of Asian actors you could utilize. Again, if you need a draw, I get that as a studio that wants to make money. Pick one. I don't think you necessarily needed both. I mean, again, I really loved Charlize as the mother and as the monkey. I think she was endearing. I thought she invoked a lot of emotion, and it was very just very connection based. But I would have loved to see more Asian actors, especially George Takei. There's no reason why George Takei couldn't be the Moon King. I'll say that right now.
So I know some of you guys have seen. Obviously, so some of you guys have seen it already. I'm assuming Myra, you've seen it. Have any of you guys not seen it yet, or care about spoilers?
Yeah, so let us know. I mean, while you guys let us know if you've seen the movie or not. What was the other things that you liked about the movie?
I really enjoyed the
Cutie
music.
Pie has not seen it. Do you care about spoilers, Cutie Pie? Let us know.
The music. I thought the music was phenomenal. Like, what sold me on this movie was in the trailer, the cover of...
No.
When in the trailer, the song that they used was that cover of While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Right.
And, like, just, like, hearing that, I was like, all right, I have to go see this movie. That was it for me.
Honestly, I just thought it was intriguing. I think, and this is like one of the first movies in a long time where I really had no idea what the movie was about, because I don't think the trailers really revealed that much. I mean, it kind of gave you the gist of the tone, the type of characters you were going to see, and then just a little boy named Kubo. It didn't give you that much else.
I think that was one of the enjoyable parts of the movie, is figuring out what it was about.
Cutie Pie, we don't mind. Honestly, that's the thing. I mean, we appreciate you being here, so we will work around it because we don't mind doing that for you. We don't have to spoil it, and we do want you to enjoy it if you care about spoilers. So just let us know. Let us know if you care about spoilers.
Yeah, because I was going to... The reason I asked was because I was going to ask a question to you guys that would end up being a spoiler.
And we can't. Okay, so no spoilers, Cutie Pie. Confirmed. No spoilers. Let us know.
Yeah. No spoilers. I agree.
Are you saying no spoilers, Cutie Pie?
So
Yes, please. Okay, no spoilers, and that's fine. We could totally do it without spoilers.
Yeah. So let's talk about the monkey and the beetle.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And because the way the monkey came through and like just it was her personality.
Yes.
Like really sold the character for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, from even
And the way they animated it too.
Yeah, I love the monkey hair. I love the monkey hair. And honestly, the really cool thing about the monkey is, without giving away too much, the conviction in the and the transition when the monkey comes onto screen, it's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
You really don't even realize what the monkey really represents until it gets unfolded later on in the movie.
See, I caught that almost immediately.
Did you?
Oh,
I
did you?
I did because there's
I didn't.
without spoiling anything, there's a tell. Like
I caught the beetle immediately.
There was. I did notice the tell.
I figured,
and I saw the parallel.
I figured the beetle out too, but like with the monkey,
There is a tell.
Yeah.
I noticed the tell.
I saw that. I was like,
and I was like, oh, maybe that's just because they're like, you know.
yeah.
But I didn't think it was what it was.
Yeah. Well, see, and that was the thing because like it's almost like that anticipation of knowing that something's going to happen, and then you find out when it happens, and it still has that like cathartic, like, oh, I knew that was what it was.
And to that credit, I really appreciated the way the story elements did unfold to the point where you wanted more.
Yeah.
And you wanted the studio to invest in like an extra 15 minutes of even resolution or backstory, because they did a good job as far as like revealing as the story went along, as far as like, oh, by the way, this is what happened. Oh, by the way, this is what happened. Oh, by the way, this is who you really are, type of thing.
For me, like I could almost like I was fine. Like the movie itself was like maybe an hour and a half. It was
like an hour 40.
Yeah, it was paced out very well, but
but that's with credits. So.
Yeah, like DJ said, like there were certain points where people were like, okay, well, you know, they could have spent more time talking about this, or they could have spent more time talking about that.
Yeah. The pacing was great though.
I was completely okay with all of it, but I could see myself going to see another movie that's set in this universe.
Yeah. I was definitely invested. And I say the word a lot, but if I'm saying the word, it's for a good reason. If I'm invested in a character or characters, and I do want to see more, like you mentioned.
I agree.
Yeah, like
they painted an interesting, unique world. And
yeah,
that was the fun part, because I was like, is this familiar? Is it going to be like old Japan?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or is it just going to be like old Japan, like fantasy? Or is it going to be, whoa, it's total... It kind of felt totally different.
Right, like I don't...
Its own unique world.
I don't want to compare it to Stranger Things, because, I mean, they're like two completely separate animals. But much like Stranger Things, where like next season is going to be a continuation of the currency of what we just saw, I personally felt like it could have been an anthology where it was just like this whole world where like random things happen and you just follow it around. That's what I'd like to see with this is like more from the world, but not necessarily following Kubo or his family, just something else that's.
But what's interesting about it is Kubo, and then we'll get to Danny in a minute. Kubo, I feel like this Kubo story could have been split into two movies, in a sense. It could have been. If you really wanted to drag it out, so to speak, or if you really wanted to embark on that journey that was created. Because, I mean, I've said it before, I do think like the last act was kind of rushed.
Oh, yeah.
I do think it was
They
kind of
could have,
rushed.
like, explained some parts before. Yeah.
But I also feel like there's a lot more story that you can't tell of Kubo because he's so young, because he is essentially living with so much potential as a young man, and even the way, I love the way the movie really establishes the universe or the world in terms of certain abilities and certain powers and mystical elements, etc., etc.
Definitely felt like the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
What's really going on.
Yeah.
Did you want to bring up what Danny mentioned?
Yeah, so Danny E and Hitakiri both basically ask, is it worth a full price admission?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, they also
Or is it
asked.
Netflix?
They also asked. He said that he has no idea what we're talking about. So for someone like him, who would not normally see this. Oh, I'm sorry. Danny's a girl.
Mm-hmm. There's a girly avatar.
I just see a face. Okay. Well, for somebody like Danny who would not normally see this type of movie, why should they see it? I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't normally see this kind of movie, but if you like animation and you like good themes, I feel like this movie had a great amount of lessons and themes without going too cheesy with it. I think it had a lot of heart too, and not to mention, I feel like original movies like this should be supported.
Like building off of that, like if if you enjoy like Pixar style movies,
Sure.
like Up or The Incredibles, which are completely different movies, but
Or even WALL-E.
or even WALL-E, because like I feel like this movie, while it's clearly marketed towards like a kid's audience, it's not a kid's movie.
No, there were
No, it's
parts where
definitely not.
where I thought like, wow, this is too scary for kids. Like those sisters right there, you just got a hint of.
Well, even more than that, I think it's just very deep. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's definitely
like-
thought provoking.
Yeah, kids would enjoy it on one level because it's like, oh man, this is, look at the visuals. There's this kid, he's playing music.
Yeah.
Look at
Talking
he's
monkey.
fighting these things. There's a talking monkey. But then, like getting into the story and understanding the story on a deeper level,
Yeah, the real crux of it.
yeah, there's like a whole
It's
nother
deeper.
like enjoyment level to it.
100% agreed. I mean, the other thing is, I think we should support Asian influence movies as well, because I want to see more of Kubo. I would love to see more of Kubo. I would love to see more of Asian actors as a lead, even though, I mean, essentially the voice actors aren't Asian, but it is still an Asian hero that if a kid wanted to be, he could be Kubo. You know what I mean? I mean, realistically, you could cosplay as these characters, and
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
so original, and the designs are so
Like the
so
the
specific
sisters.
that you could definitely do the sisters. You could do the monkey. You could be the beetle. You know what I mean? And it's all original works, and I'm a fan of original works, and you supplement that with the fact that it is a very Asian influenced movie and a very underappreciated technique as far as stop motion. I think there's more pros to support it than cons. At least for my work, you know what I mean? There's movies that kind of come and go, and the studios either kind of make their money back or it is what it is.
Right.
I feel like this type of movie should be supported, needs to be supported, and I would love to see more original movies
Well,
come
then
out.
let me ask you a question. When this movie comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, digital, whatever, when you're able to buy it to watch at home, is this a movie that you would purchase?
I would say more yes than no. I would
Right.
say more yes than no. But that's hard.
What, do you buy movies?
I do.
I don't really buy movies.
No, I do.
So would you watch this again? Like if it was on like HBO or Cinemax or you rent it on demand?
Maybe for certain points, I would like to see again, certain parts.
Everybody says think of your future kids.
If Danny was saying that, is the story strong? To touch on the story more, like it is good and it's deep, but I feel like the mainstream may not enjoy it as much. So, but if you like something original, you will like this. It's not going to be familiar, in my opinion, to a lot of other stories and stuff. So if you don't pay attention and have like,
I mean, he tells you that you have to pay attention at the beginning of the movie. So
Yeah.
if you don't pay
Very
attention, that's on you.
specifically.
I feel
Exactly,
like it's one of
exactly.
those movies that leans a little towards the arty, imaginative kind of creative thinking style. And if that's not what you're into, then you may be lost a little into it.
I don't
'Cause
know
some
that-
people just really don't.
Yeah, I don't know that I
Don't
completely
like it.
agree
Like,
with
no,
that.
I want it to be like
I mean,
Like
it's
a-
not. This isn't. It's not Batman v Superman. It's not the Avengers. It's it's
No, I
not
think
one
that's
of
not.
these.
I don't think it's really the comparisons. Like, let's go animated.
Yeah, well, no, but that's what I mean. Like, as far as like stylistically, this movie is not like a popcorn flick that you're gonna sit there
No,
and just
not at
watch
all.
and just like be able to just
It's
watch. the
not a
movie
kung
and
fu
enjoy
panda.
it.
It's not a kung fu panda.
Right.
It's not a Ice Age. Even actually piggybacking off of what both of you have
there's
said.
not much humor in it actually.
Well, it's
No,
very
I
subtle.
mean, there-
Compared to those.
It's subtle. I mean, okay, let me.
Exactly, I think-
if I can, like, literally, you asked me if I would buy it again. That's a hard one because it's a very complete story in itself. It is a very complete story. There's a story to be built off of, but also piggybacking off of what Bryan said, I understand why he says like mainstream doesn't necessarily would appreciate it as much because it's not a popcorn flick, because it's not your typical kid cheese. You know what I'm
if
saying?
you don't
But
appreciate
because of
animation-
that, and this is like the start and one of many films that should be supported, so that it becomes the norm, so that people are more interested in thought-provoking cinema and films, animated or not, because the attention span nowadays is very small. It's very
Yeah.
short. It's very short.
That's why like I would compare this movie to Up.
Sure, because
I would
Up,
compare it to Up too. a little
Up
bit.
was very critically like praised, but at the same time,
It
it's a
feels-
very deep story. It's not, and I would actually compare it to Up. Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's two different levels. There's the level that the kids can enjoy it on with the dog, who's like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
There was
But
definitely
then-
a part where I was like, don't get back in there. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But then there's like the first 10 minutes of that movie where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
and I think you get that in
Nothing will ever
Kubo
beat
as well.
nothing will ever beat Up as far as the first 10 minutes. First of all,
Yes,
Like,
Myra.
but
Yeah, But then
Like
like
an indie film.
especially like when you find out like what the two strings are.
Yeah.
Like
that was special. That was very
yeah,
special.
it's like where you're like, oh, and then just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great name, great concept, etc., etc. To answer Danny's question, is it like a Wreck-It Ralph? No, absolutely not. Wreck-It Ralph is very child children aimed at.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean
it's very
that-
cutesy. It's very candy. It's very Candyland-ish. It's very video game based. I mean, by nature, it is short attention span based, so it is a lot of flashy, gimmicky, cutesy based characters and concepts. So it's definitely not like a Wreck-It Ralph. It's definitely more like an Up. But Up was very multifaceted and very layered. And I'm not saying that Kubo is not, but it's a much linear storyline. It's a very direct storyline. You are going from A to B very fast.
That's true. That is true.
I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with like storytelling techniques, but this very much follows what's called the hero's journey, which is the same thing that like Star Wars, like the first Star Wars
Coming of
movie.
age.
Yeah, it's a coming of age story, and it's
Yeah.
usually your hero has to like face like 3 challenges, and then he has to overcome one and like become one with himself, and learn how to overcome.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's it
his
is
own
very
failings.
much like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to answer Myra's question, is it like James and the Giant Peach? That's a great call.
I actually haven't seen that.
You know what, dude? This might bring me back, but it's very reminiscent of that, but still having its own identity for sure. If you enjoy James and the Giant Peach, I think you will enjoy this as well. Again, I will stress that it is a very straightforward story. Like, there's not a lot of sidebarring at all. Like, literally, you are told the story, you are given the story, you see the story, and then you're at the end of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, that's one of the biggest themes of the movie, which is actually creating your story. You're not certain how it's going to end.
They
you have the
mentioned
opportunity
that. Like,
to
what's
create.
his story? What's your story? They literally
Right.
say that.
You have the
Wow.
ability to take hold and form and just take control of your destiny. And there's a lot of great lessons to take from it, and I think it's a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie.
I'm looking up a list of like other movies I could possibly compare this to.
Cutie Pie asks, is it like a Caroline type movie where it's sort of different for kids film?
Maybe
It's definitely different.
I would actually like going back. Like, I'm dating myself now, but like, have you guys seen The Secret of Nim,
Holy crap! Yes.
Brian?
Oh man. Ugh.
What was that? I was reading the chat.
The Secret of Nim.
The Secret of Nim.
That's
The movie about
that's
the mouse
not
and
a
the
bad.
rats.
Ugh. It's just wow. Jeez.
That was-
man.
Like, thinking about it, that would actually probably be the best comparison for this, because The Secret of Nim had a very like there was that magical tinge to it,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it was talking rats and talking
Yeah.
mice,
Right,
and it all
right,
took
right.
place in that world. But there was like that childlike aspect of it where it was all
Yeah, but it still had that
But,
dark.
but then it
undertone.
had that dark undertone. There was that big fight like at the end where like people, like, things got killed in it. So I think that, like, if you've seen The Secret of Nim and you've read Mrs. Brisby and the Rats of Nim, the book, this is very similar to that in the tone and the style. Or The Lion King. The Lion King would probably be a good one too.
Very. I mean, I think yes and no. I think Up was probably the best comparison, just
Yeah.
because it is more. It is very.
Up and Secret of Nim.
It's a very
Secret of Nim.
non-traditional animated film. To me, Up is a very non. Even Wall-E. It's not your typical laughs a minute, laughs every second.
What about The Iron Giant?
The Iron Giant is up there too. I mean, again, I feel like I'm saying this as a negative now, but I'm not. It's just a very straightforward story. It's just, I mean, I feel like every example that you mentioned is much more multifaceted. You know what I mean?
There is a very straightforward. Yeah.
Well, just because it is,
was
lit-
like-
it
well,
is-
because-
it
yeah,
is
be-
literally we have like destinations to hit. We get to those destinations, and then we get to the end destination. But the lessons and the journey and the world that's established is great. Now, Iron Giant has a lot of heart, but the central theme of Iron Giant is, just finding the good in the most unexpected of places and not even knowing where he's coming from. And even though that's straightforward, it's straightforward in terms of simplicity of a story. This is straightforward because you actually kind of know what needs to happen.
Right. Well, it's like I said, it's the hero's journey. It's very formulaic. It follows that.
But it's also a very explained hero's journey.
Yeah.
Many times over that we know, we really know what's about to, we literally know what's going to happen in the movie in a lot of ways.
But I don't take that as a negative with it though.
It's not a negative, but it does simplify it a lot.
It does, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying about like the reveal that I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, which
because like seeing things coming doesn't necessarily take away from the emotional value.
Absolutely not, and it didn't. It's just that when we're talking about comparing it to movies, I just feel I'm obligated to mention, because ultimately, whether or not it affected me enjoying it or not, it still does oversimplify it. You know what I mean? Like, it does oversimplify it beyond The Secret of Nim or The Iron Giant. You know what I mean? Because it is that hero's journey, the part of the hero's journey that kind of keeps it interesting. Which again, this movie was great, but what keeps it interesting is how will it unfold. Yeah. There was this much how it unfold, and then this much. Okay, I kind of see where they're going already.
Right. The Iron Giant is an amazing movie.
Yes, it is.
It's phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorites. I was super sad because it came back into the theaters like 3 months ago and I missed it.
Oh man.
Oh.
And shout out to Vin Diesel because he actually did a good job as the Iron Giant. He was the voice of the Iron Giant.
Yeah, I mean that prepared him for Groot.
It did. Well, I am Groot.
I mean, they both had about the same.
Cutie Pie says, "I just watched the trailer and the twins scared the crap out of me."
And you know what? To be fair, the twins were very.
They were on
point.
They were like the twins from The Shining. It was like, come play with us.
They were more ominous than Apocalypse was.
Super X-Men. Creepy.
No, in terms of actual threats, the twins were really threatening. They were very imposing. They were scary. They were a very scary chaser because
when they appeared, it was like you don't know you don't know the limit to their powers or what they can do or what. You just know they're
actually
run.
Yeah. Actually, no. Speaking of which,
are they ghosts? I don't know what's going on.
I would have loved for them to have the opportunity to do more action sequences, and I'm not saying just to have it for the sake of having it, but. The fact is, the action sequences that it did have were so well done.
Oh yeah, well,
you wanted to see more of that.
I hate to make you choose, but I'm gonna make you choose.
Please.
All right. So between the fight scene on the boat,
are we spoiling anything?
Okay.
And the fight scene.
Are we spoiling anything?
No.
Okay.
And the fight scene in the cave. Which one did you guys like better?
Better?
Mm-hmm.
Define better. Which one was cool to look at, or which one was just like...
Which one
was more enjoyable to witness?
Wait, which one was more enjoyable to watch?
Well,
maybe the...
So let's break it down.
I can't decide.
So let's...
Hello, Barry. I'm gonna make you guys decide. How's it going?
Oh, we got called handsome guys. Guess what, Barry? You just made us...
This camera...
You just made our whole week. I'll tell you that
Bryan,
right now.
there's something wrong with your camera.
Speak for yourself. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take what I can get. But no. You know, here's the thing. Okay, let's break it down real quick without spoiling too much. Both sequences had very different tones. One was more one of them was more comedic than the other.
I honestly don't remember.
One was more confrontational than the other. Both of them consisted of having to overcome that objective, obviously.
Well, taking out the
comedic or
the comedic or the spoiler-ish type thing that you find out.
Thanks, Barry. We appreciate you.
Barry says that's actually sad. You guys
well, you said we're trying. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were we saying?
Taking out any of the information that you've learned that you learned during either of the scenes, just like from a purely aesthetic standpoint.
Aesthetic, I would say probably the cave then. But here's the thing: if I were to answer that question before you got specific, I would actually say the boat scene, just because I thought it was super well done with the composition, the music,
and the wet look,
even the texturing. And just the emotion in the voice acting. Like, there was so much going for it. Now, I thought the cave scene was a very cool scene because just looking at it visually, matter of fact, if you even see how they make a lot of these scenes, you really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
Bryan?
I would lean towards the boat scene because I honestly don't remember much about the cave scene.
That would be a reason. That would be a reason.
It's acceptable.
Okay, now put you on the spot. So what would be your... Okay, right.
Because the boat scene, there was a lot of different things that happened.
Yeah.
And you got to see some unique textures and mixtures of media with the ocean being CG, and then the practical effects of the boat. You don't see it in this clip, but it was huge. It was like, I didn't realize like how big all these props were.
Neither did I. Like
until the end, they showed the hint.
Well, we're not gonna say what happened at the end.
Yeah,
but you really appreciate the definitely the behind the scenes productions as far as even some of the clips that you see flashy.
Well, I mean, the thing that you see at the end during the credits, you can find online. Like that.
Sure.
That's
but let them
the behind the scenes stuff is available.
So that's that's what made me appreciate the boat scene. Is I feel like there was a combination of medias with the CG ocean, the wet look because they tried to make it.
I love the emotion they invoked in that scene, though. I mean, just the sequence was really, really cool.
Monkey.
And like, so for me, like I've been like fighting back and forth between the two because for aesthetically, I think I liked the fight on the boat better, just because it was just the look of it, like you were saying, you know, with the rain and it was dark and like the lighting was like really spot on.
Well, we'll answer your question in a second, Barry. Okay, never mind. Cutie Pie just answered the question for us.
But the cave fight was fun. Like
it was. But you were talking about visually though.
No, but because of how fun it was, and like the skeleton, like how the skeleton kind of came together.
That one.
Yeah,
I was thinking of a different cave scene.
You're just talking about like when they just found each other.
That one.
But no, I mean it was a sequence with a big creature, and then they were trying to get something, and
that was interesting scene. Yeah.
I would say, I mean, again, I appreciated that scene. I guess just taking everything
more when I knew how big it was.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like once I realized how massive of a scale that was,
I was
like,
that.
Oh,
yeah. No, I mean, scale wise, it's extremely impressive.
But now I want to see like the behind the scenes for that boat.
I want to see the behind the scenes of all of it. To be honest, with you.
Which is like for me that would almost be like
the
sole reason for me buying it on DVD would just be to watch, because I mean you gotta figure they're probably gonna have like some really good like behind the scenes featurettes.
I mean, even a little bit that they've shown is like really interesting, and you wanted to. That's Bryan's many
and the soundtrack.
Many fans on this one. No, the soundtrack was amazing. The soundtrack was really, really good.
What are you looking for?
I'm just seeing if I can get this video to share or not. But yeah, don't worry about me. See if I can find a way to.
But no, to answer your question as far as the music, it's very appropriate, and what I mean by that is it really creates the tone and setting of the world they establish. It's matter of fact, there's times where you're just enjoying the scenery being complemented by the music, I would say.
Yeah, actually, Bryan, can you pull up the trailer?
Oh, jeez, look at all that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, wow.
See, that's what I wanted to show them. Look how crazy.
Can you download that real quick? Go to options, download.
I was trying to see if I can.
But that would take a while to download. Never mind. That would actually take a long time. Well, anyways.
Yeah, you can find it online if you go and you look.
Well, you work on that.
On
if you can
Facebook,
get it, that'd be great.
It's called On Animation.
See if I can find the.
There you go. Try to hyperlink it. But no, I mean, honestly, we enjoyed it. For you specifically, Barry, who's just joining us, one thing that we went over, one thing I appreciate about this movie is the fact that it's not your traditional animated kid flick. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of originality to it. There's a lot of just risks taken with this type of movie because it's not based on anything. It's not based on any type of following or comic strip or anything established before. It's original works. It's very Asian based. It's again very Asian influenced. So for all of us, we want to see more support towards that medium. One of the other things that we talked about was the voice acting. The voice acting is amazing. We would love to see more Asian voice actors get more of the credit, so to speak. But at the same time, it's such an impressive movie, and I think if you like animated movies and you like great themes, I think you would really enjoy it. You know what? Actually, the director is like a first-time director. I don't know his name, but he's a first-time director, and one of the oh man, just we'll look up the director, but I think he's like one of the presidents or producers of the company. I forget. Nobody liked The Last Airbender.
That's the Euro.
Nobody enjoyed The Last Airbender.
I did not watch The Last Airbender.
You did yourself a favor. It's pretty awful. M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist. Did you get it?
I think we got it. So we're gonna show a small clip
behind the
from
scenes production
thing from it. Oh, did you save it? Because this is asking for the file, not for the.
Yeah. Because there's a HTML.
Yeah, I think that's what you want to do. Is that.
You know what? I'm just gonna entertain you guys and just keep talking because them two ain't got their act together.
We're doing tech shit, yo.
Okay, they're doing stuff I can't do.
Here it is.
There we go.
They're literally doing stuff that I cannot do or don't
Type.
have the patience to do. Shut up.
What?
Asshole.
Well, you can do it, Brian. I've got faith.
What happened to it?
Brian's thinking face is everything.
Did it go away? I think it went away. All right.
It went away. Anyway.
So we're gonna be more entertaining.
Okay, well, anyway.
So
bottom line is, I think it's a great movie. I think we should support this medium, and I'm always down for original works. But to answer your question, I definitely appreciated the cave scene after knowing it.
yeah.
Yeah, you either entertaining with me or you gotta keep both. Gotta keep both ears open, my man. But
Brian looking off into the distance.
That's
like,
okay. I'm like,
what's
might as well just like, good job. Yeah, if I did that, his table would be
just like
smashed. But no, I mean, it's a good movie though. I mean, well, for you, Barry, do you like movies like Up? Are you easily entertained, or do you need more of a cutesy Kung Fu Panda type of movie? I guess would be my question for you, because I think this movie was beautifully done.
Yeah, it looked very, very pretty.
Okay, so Barry, you love Up, and I'm assuming you liked Up because it evoked a lot of emotions and connections and attachments to these characters. So that's kind of what I feel like our consensus is as far as this movie. You get attached to these characters. You really get invested with Kubo, and you really want to see the young man do well. So I would say, yeah, same thing with Wall-E. Wall-E is just as good because Wall-E isn't your typical kiddie flick, but it's extremely well done. So if you do enjoy those movies, definitely check out Kubo. I think you should get supported. I loved it. I think you would too. So that's me. I think they agreed for the most part.
Yeah.
And you're sold. I'm glad. Well, I don't want to sell you, but honestly, I think you really would. I really think you would enjoy it. So definitely check it out. I think you should.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure this will be in the theaters for a while, so you'll be able to go see it next weekend or anytime during the week.
And the critics are giving it really good praise.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
do we know how much they're making?
Let me take a look and see what it made. Box Office Mojo is my friend.
Box Office Mojo is my friend. That's funny. No,
I mean, you can find out honestly, all kinds of information here. It looks like Bryan kind of has this.
Do we have it under control?
I do know that this weekend overall was low at the box office.
Well, I know it didn't beat. I know Suicide Squad's still killing it because even like Ben-Hur got like murdered.
Yeah, but like even like Suicide Squad only made like $20 million this past weekend, and it was number one.
See, Takiri is like saying it was like in fourth place.
Yeah, Kubo made $12 million over the 3 weekends. I mean, it beat War Dogs.
Did it? Is War Dogs not doing well?
Oh wait, no, it didn't beat War Dogs. War Dogs did $14 million.
I was about to say like War Dogs, I think is okay.
But no, I mean,
Kubo only made 12.
It made 12.
How much did it cost?
12.6. $60 million budget.
$60 million for Kubo.
But this was only weekend one.
Yeah.
So I think it'll make itself up once we pull like the foreign sales too and add that to the domestic.
Oh, that's not tallied.
Yeah, that's just domestic.
To answer your question, Barry, what is War Dogs? War Dogs is based on a true story as far as two 20-something-year-olds being hired by the Pentagon to actually basically be warmongers and sell weapons.
Gun runners.
essentially, like, and it follows their exploits as far as how they became like young millionaires or rich people. It's a dramedy, I would say, but more of a drama than a comedy. But it's Jonah Hill and the kid from Fantastic Four.
Miles Teller.
That's why.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So according to Rotten Tomatoes, which is definitely not the end all be all of
It really isn't. I think
scores.
Rotten Tomatoes is so overrated.
Well, I mean, it's a good place to look at aggregate scores.
Is
like
it?
if you kind of want an idea,
Is
but like
it really? I mean, there's
but-
movies I completely disagree with.
but read the reviews. Like you can't just look.
I can't.
But you can't just look at the numbers. You have to read the reviews.
I
too.
can't read the reviews. I get really annoyed.
But like what's surprising to me is Suicide.
Oh, Danny E actually says Sausage Party was pretty disappointing. That's interesting because everyone
I
I've
hear
talked
mixed.
to,
Like I hear very mixed.
everyone
reviews.
I've talked to said they love it. But then again, it's Seth Rogen type of humor,
Yeah.
right?
So Sausage Party has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Suicide Squad has a 26%.
Yeah, don't listen to that.
War Dogs is at 58,
Okay.
and Kubo and the Two Strings is at 96.
Yeah. Well, the critics love it.
Yeah.
I mean, Universal across the board, the critics have been loving Kubo, for sure.
Well, that didn't work. The link I wanted to show you guys was right here. I'll just paste it in here. It's on Facebook.
Oh, there you go.
It's really cool. It shows a little bit of the animation.
It's a shame we couldn't get it to work, but it's a really cool clip. It's a really, really, really cool
Something to
clip.
repair in the future.
Yeah, but I think I mean, final decision.
What was 26? The Suicide Squad was 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, and honestly, it has its problems, but we all love the movie.
Yeah, I would put it more. I would give Suicide Squad like a solid 6 out of 10.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, maybe
I'd say
7.
I'd say 6.5, 7.
I agree.
Entertainment wise, I'd give it a strong 8.
Yeah.
Entertainment wise, I'd give it a strong 8. The flaws with the movie had nothing to do with the cast.
Barry said she liked it also.
Yeah. Suicide Squad was really.
It was fun. It was
The
fun.
biggest issue I had with Suicide Squad was certain plot elements, and not to be technical, it just certain things did not make sense. Period. For it to make sense in the movie.
Yeah. Same with me.
The antagonist wasn't necessarily strong. I feel like Suicide Squad is going to creep into every video for at least
for a while.
for at least the next few videos. Okay, again, I will put this out there. I would have loved it a lot more. And again, this is very small, but the reason why Suicide Squad in the movie got brought together in the first place was to be a contingency plan for another metahuman, like a Superman, if he was bad. That team was never going to do shit against another Superman that was bad. Maybe Deadshot if given kryptonite bullets or given something where he would be accurate.
Or Enchantress.
Maybe Enchantress maybe a
because
little bit.
Superman
Maybe El
is-
Diablo a little bit.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn was going to be useless.
Yeah, because Superman's weak. to
Brock
magic.
was going to be useless. Who else?
Slingshot.
Slingshot
was useless.
Slipknot
Slipknot.
was useless in the movie. So there
Captain
you go.
Boomerang?
Captain Boomerang
What if-
was
what-
there for amusement.
Wait. What
I'm gonna
if
get
Cap-
you, Superman.
What if Captain Boomerang had kryptonite boomerangs?
He still wouldn't throw it fast enough.
Then our faith in the government
It
is
still
still
wouldn't be
questionable.
fast enough.
And guess what?
Superman's like, you're kidding me.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Like if there was a Superman.
Like,
Well, I mean,
The only reason I put even Deadshot as an actual contender is because even Batman was ever going to shot off and him catch it and it was effective.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, to be completely fair, if Superman really wanted to, he could just fly up into space and shoot his laser eyes at people and put them out of their misery.
Well, to be fair, none of Batman v Superman needed to happen.
He could throw like a meteorite at people from space and never even have to come within a distance where the kryptonite would even be an issue.
The point is,
He argues that the team was for if Batman went bad. Because it is
no,
true.
that wasn't the reason. That was not the reason. They said Superman.
Because wasn't Superman already?
It was a
dead?
metahuman.
It was
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah,
for the. And guess what? The metahuman that they had to take down, aka their own teammate, was a dumb metahuman that fought him hand to hand when it didn't have to. There was no reason.
And the reason they had to fight that metahuman was their fault.
Oh.
Exactly. Exactly.
He thought it was joking.
Oh, well, guess. Oh, my bad, Hitakiri. I totally missed it. But here's the thing. Suicide Squad was supposed to be so that no one else had to get killed, but we could use them.
Right.
And what did they do? Send a whole bunch of soldiers with the Suicide Squad that did get killed, and they made it out alive. Think about it. They actually gave them a team of SWAT guys Was it SWAT, FBI,
Yeah,
something?
they're like secret
Special forces
like special
or-
Like the
forces or
people who
something.
weren't supposed to die died. It's the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it was. I was but whatever.
And the squad that was supposed to die.
Yeah,
It was so
Seals, Danny.
confusing.
He says they were seals.
Oh, they were
Oh,
seals. Yeah. Either way, why are we putting out people who weren't supposed to die?
Insert both magic.
They were called the Suicide Squad. We were supposed to risk just them. But it was an entertaining movie. That's why I like entertainment wise, strong 8 to 9. As a movie, it was definitely like a 6 or 7.
All right, so back to the topics for tonight.
All right.
We'll start with
Batman?
you, Batman.
Batman.
Sure. Buy or pass?
Buy if you're a Batman fan.
Buy if you're a
Bryan?
Batman fan, or if you're a fan of storytelling, point and click. If you
Okay.
do not like that game style, you're not gonna like the game. It doesn't matter if you like Batman.
Because I didn't get it as much, but I enjoyed it
You'll
because
be bored. You're like,
I enjoyed it because I was a Batman.
Yeah. So for me, I'm kind of between the two. If you're a fan of the Telltale games, absolutely buy it. If you're a fan of Batman and you've never played a Telltale game, buy it. If you don't like Batman and you don't like Telltale games, don't buy it.
no.
Kubo and the Two Strings. Go see it in the theater. Wait for DVD. Pass.
Support the movie. See it in theaters.
Bryan.
I hesitate on this one because I say see it. Yeah. I don't know. See it in
Well,
theaters?
what's the hesitation?
The hesitation is I don't think
Well, just for you, dude.
I don't think most people would
for you.
would like it.
No, for you.
For me,
For you, dude. We need to put the word out. That's how we get support for this thing.
I enjoyed it because of the visual style of it. If you know the amount of work, the animation they put into this, then you'll appreciate it so much more. You'll like it. If you don't, if you have no idea it's clean, yeah, I enjoyed it for the art, for the visual style.
You like the story?
I like seeing like, okay, what is stop motion like now, 2016.
But you didn't like the storytelling or the lessons and stuff?
The story and everything, I thought it was okay. It didn't blow me away, to be honest. It was a typical hero's quest.
It was a very simple story.
The villains, I really liked the villains though. The sisters.
sisters.
So many times, and I have to agree with user Lanead, who argued that X-Men Apocalypse, the biggest reason it sucked was because Apocalypse wasn't scary at all. These sisters were scary. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't know what they would do. Apocalypse, I was like, you know,
Like, all right.
you like that rubber suit? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Like,
How about yourself, man?
For me, I definitely go see it in the theater. It was I enjoyed the story even though it was a simplistic story. Simplistic stories don't, like, just because it's simplistic doesn't mean that it's bad. So for me, it was watching it and like following along the journey. It's like, have you ever like? I mean, I'm sure you've rewatched movies multiple times where like you already know the story,
Sure.
so you're watching it along for the enjoyment factor of it. And
Yeah.
for me, that's kind of what this was. Even though I kind of knew and was able to predict where it was going, it didn't take away anything from me.
Yeah, honestly, if it's on TV, I wouldn't like necessarily. Again, I want to support it because of what it represents, and I know that's outside of the entertainment
Yeah.
value because there's things about it that I enjoyed about it as a person, as an art fanatic, as a stylistic fanatic. You know what I'm saying? Now, was it the most amazing thing I've ever seen? It was not, but was it something I really enjoyed and really appreciated? It was.
Yeah, for me, it's if you haven't seen a good animated movie in the theater in a long time, I would go see this in the theater. And just if you like this animation style and you like solid stories, like for me,
I have to
this is
confess, I didn't really like the animation style.
really.
Like the way they drew the characters and stuff, that didn't really appeal to me. Which is probably why I didn't like it as much as I could.
That's very possible.
Granted, the sisters, I love the way they were designed, and there were certain aspects. The monkey was cool,
But see,
but the humans, the proportions, all that, I was like not really.
I can relate to like there was that DC animated movie. What was it? Superman versus the Elite.
Oh, that was really weird.
The animation style, I just could not get into it, and for me, that like
It was goofy.
It might have been a fine story, but the animation just made it weird.
Yeah.
and then like some of the Marvel like the motion comics that they do, like I find those like it's again like, the story could be perfectly fine, but I'm just distracted by the weird animated look of it.
No, I mean there's definitely things that can take you out of the suspense of disbelief.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But for this one for me, I like it didn't.
I enjoy I enjoy the visuals. I mean, I do feel like the and I hate to say this because it almost takes away credit for it being stop motion, but I feel like I know it took a lot of work to make that stop motion work. I feel like a lot of that probably could have still been computer rendered.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's it's like, have you seen the Fantastic Mr. Fox?
A long time ago.
It's the same thing. Like that whole thing could have been computer.
Yeah, but
generated,
this one had so much of a blend between the computer elements and the again, it wasn't. It was the mouth movements that really kind of took you out and reminded you that it was stop motion. Everything else, honestly, could have been a CGI.
Right,
record.
but like if you're watching, I don't know why I'm so hung up on that because like the argument is just a little weird to me because like if you're playing a video game, like the lip movements never match up like with what they're saying. Like the mouth movements in video game like dialogue is always super weird.
But I feel like with this one, I mean, there's like that fine line between it being very fluid and it being very stop motion.
Right.
So
and
that's where I'm coming from. It's just that there's certain things that pay off as far as the effort. Kind of like there's certain times where they like I'm a practical fan. I love practical. I love tangible objects because whenever you do a scene that's completely CGI, you get something like the Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds didn't do a bad job. The whole direction, the story, like his whole OA training montage looked like something straight out of a video game. I never felt like he was training with Kilowog. I never felt like he was really getting his hands dirty. And there was a big kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith, where he was riding the bird creature, and it was just the CGI mashup from hell. And there's definitely a big difference between something being practical and something being and you know, so there's certain times where the effort and going the extra distance does pay off because it makes a noticeable difference. Yeah. And then there's other times where you're just like, okay, it wasn't CGI, but you might as well make it CGI.
See, for me, I think I
see what's with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're.
That's why I was saying people could have easily not known it was stop motion if you just went to the theater and watched it.
But it was the mouth movements, not the syncing. The actual mouth movements that actually reminded you, like, oh, by the way, it's stop motion. Like, oh, that's right.
See, and I bought into that as part of the style of the film, so that maybe that's why I did.
And I did too. As much. But unfortunately, it almost looked like CGI with elements of stop motion, as opposed to a stop motion with elements of CGI.
I guess I could
totally see that. Yeah,
I'm gonna hold my face like this.
I mean, for me, it wasn't an issue. For you, it was, but that's
not an issue. But it was just
old school kung fu movies.
But right, old school kung fu movies. Well, I'll fight you.
Exactly.
That's your internet being bad, by the way. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So I think that kind of wraps us up.
That pretty much wraps it up. Yeah.
What's funny? Did you hear you said mouth moves with no sound? It was effective.
Yeah, it does. It was without sound. Right? That's how it goes.
Well, we're gonna have to do Milli Vanilli at karaoke one night.
Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. Do you remember how it messed up? Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's. Girl. Oh, just leave. Just leave.
All right. So, DJ, social media. Do you have any that you would like people to know about?
You can try. You can find me on Instagram if you really care. I'll get tagged on Instagram. I don't really put up pictures. Anyways, it's d.j.rivers for Instagram and same thing for Facebook, right?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Yeah,
you should know my stuff, sir.
It is because I tag you all the time.
That's what you call a good friend.
Bryan, social medias.
Bigenzo.
For those that are regulars here, you know I'm Bigenzo on Africa TV and on all my social media. You just search Bigenzo. You just Google Bigenzo. That's all me. There's no other Bigenzo on this world.
This world.
It's true. That's why I created that name.
I will fix that.
And then,
yeah, guess what? There's about to be two more next week.
I know.
Bigenzo 1 and Bigenzo 2 and Bigenzo exclamation.
There's one Twitter account that's almost like me, but that's something else.
We must eliminate them.
Oh, guess what? Cutie Pie's gonna make one now
Hunt
too.
them
You
down,
messed up.
take them out.
You messed up the originality, my friend. You are not.
I already got Gmails begin, so 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 5.
Nobody cares. Hey, guess what?
Don't even try.
Nobody care about your Gmails, my man. But they care about your social media.
All right. For me, you can find me on Twitter at the Goldman. Instagram, same as DJ. I've got it, but I don't really use it. But
The Goldman. I love
it's the Goldman.
The Goldman.
You can find me tweeting from Channel 42 once in a while.
I think it's a 469.
At this at the Channel 42. Find us on Facebook at the Channel 42. Check out these guys on that hashtag show at.
What's the symbol? I never know how to do it. What is it?
I don't know.
Like people make it up. Like they do.
Ernie does it all the time. I'm
That was
like,
from
I'm like,
Conan and like Justin Timberlake were doing something funny.
It started with like the Dragon Ball Z voice cast. Like they started doing that shit when we were
Is that what it
interviewing.
is?
Oh, is that what they were doing?
Yeah.
the hashtags. Oh wow!
Like we met those guys at like the premiere of Battle of the Gods.
Yeah.
Ticket's
I
like,
think-
whoa, no gang
no,
signs there.
it was.
Was it?
It was.
What was the one that came after that? Resurrection of
Resurrection,
Gods. Yeah, so it was Battle. Yeah, it was definitely Battle of the Gods then.
No.
Yeah. You weren't there.
I watched the content. I know our stuff. Ass.
Yeah.
I was a fan before we became a cast member.
Anyway, that's where that came from. Find me on social media. Find us on social media. Follow Channel 42.
Channel 42 links
here on Africa and on YouTube. So we dual stream to both. Maybe eventually we'll start doing some Twitch stuff. We'll see.
No comment.
Twitter.
I can't touch Twitch. Twitch can burn. I'm joking.
Burn the mother down.
If they bring me along, so if they're doing something, I might tag along.
And maybe we'll do a live stream from karaoke one day.
But yeah, we actually
Ooh.
we are talking about doing a game stream with the hashtag show again.
We should.
We're trying to figure out. We were just talking about today actually.
Logistics
with
of
Kelly.
it, yeah.
Trying to come up with something like Channel 42 that's more of a regular thing.
Shout out to Kelly.
And
She's
then
a
anyone, maybe there's a game coming out that we want to preview or talk about.
WWE 2K16, I'm telling you guys, that's going to be so much fun.
Everyone's got to make their own unique character.
It's free
What
on
about-
Xbox
what
Games
about-
with Gold right now.
Oh, really? WWE.
2K16. Not
2K16.
16, not 17.
I've seen
17
some.
just came out.
I've seen some trailers. It's worth getting.
Yeah, it's fun.
Now, would you get it? Would you get? Because I follow some wrestling now. I used to follow wrestling way back in the day. Like I don't as much.
I haven't watched wrestling since like Macho Man left it.
But wow.
Yeah, I haven't
way the
watched
hell
since,
back.
like-
It's like
But
early
even
like
you're
early
excited. But you're
90s.
still excited. Oh yeah.
Because it's a fun game. Like I remember back when I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, we played at a game shop. And
Used to play that.
the GameStop had, like a big screen TV, and like after we were done with our campaign, we would sit around playing WCW versus NWO on the N64. Like we would have like a giant 64-person Royal Rumble, and we would just pass the controller
Wow,
back and forth.
N64, that wasn't that long ago.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was a while
Yes,
ago.
it was. Not for us,
But it was
yes,
fun.
It was.
So
Dude, that was high school.
Well, I mean, for playing D&D.
yeah, it was a while ago.
It's still wild.
But yeah, so like now with 2K16, you can create your own characters. I made my character Dr. Manhattan.
So it's
I
out now?
saw that you posted
Is it out
it.
now?
It was
out now.
shiny blue.
Well, yeah, it's been out for like a year,
Oh,
but it's free this month on Xbox.
don't have Xbox, so that sucks.
Xbox One.
Yeah, no,
That's on you.
I know. But
Anyway.
so it's been out for a year. It's worth getting.
Yeah,
Speaking of consoles,
it's fun.
PS4 Slim got linked. You guys can look that up. We won't talk about it.
No, we can talk about that next week.
Leaked.
Yeah.
What got leaked?
It was leaked today.
Images of the new PS4.
Someone accidentally bought it on the European version of like eBay, basically, or Craigslist, and then actually got it, and they took all these pictures, and it's basically just a PS4 Slim.
But I mean, that also could have been like a prototype thing. We don't.
It could have been a prototype.
Yeah.
But no, Sony hasn't confirmed anything about it, but there's a bunch of
course they
pictures. They filmed a video of it powering up. It has actual buttons this time, so you can't accidentally eject your games all the time, which some people complain about.
I just thought it was old.
The video got shut down immediately for like all this. So people are like,
for
ooh,
content.
maybe it is real.
So we don't know.
September 7th, PlayStation is having a party, a get-together. They're bringing all the press and everyone to make a big announcement. They didn't say what it's going to be, but Wall Street Journal is saying that they're going to reveal their next console, which is they're calling PlayStation Neo. So they're finally going to reveal it. And usually when they did that, like Xbox did back in 2010 or 11, they revealed the Slim version also at the same time.
Oh, I see.
So that's probably why it probably got leaked just a little early, and but September 7th, they're gonna let everyone know what the new PlayStation is.
Are we answering what Barry said? So what's next week?
What's next week?
Next week, I don't think there's any like new movies that are coming out next week. Or this coming up.
I mean,
what's the one with Jason Statham?
The Mechanics.
The Mechanic.
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Maybe we'll do that one.
Is there a movie you guys would want us to see that's coming
we
out?
can go back and do some old school stuff. We can look at some video games again.
Oh, we could.
Yeah,
we could.
yeah.
We could.
The Sausage Party.
There's
Sausage
tons
Party.
of
Maybe-
Final
you know,
Fantasy
we
movie
may-
came out. Kingsglaive.
We may need to see
we
Sausage
can
Party.
see that.
We may need to see Sausage Party and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. There's only 24 theaters.
Because
in the
we've
States,
established that
only
because-
one in LA.
Yeah, well, there's also a slight chance that we might be going up to San Jose for the Heroes and Villains Fest this weekend.
Oh yeah.
that's
Maybe.
right.
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll play it by ear. I
But yeah,
guess.
we'll play by ear. So if we go to that, we'll be talking about that.
But if not, I mean, it's been a split decision as far as what sausage
Sausage Fest, Sausage Party.
Sausage Party.
This is a sausage.
Yeah,
party.
every party I
Shut
go
it. I was trying to avoid that. I was so trying to avoid that. I was like, no, don't say it. Don't say it. Ah, fucking right. But no, I mean, since it's so instinct. But no, but no, I mean, since it's been it's not unanimous as far as Sausage Party, we can check it out, kind of give our thoughts about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Or maybe split it up.
Oh
Some
my
of us can
God,
go see
Bryan!
something.
Do we have to buy hot dogs?
I told
And throw them at the screen.
2 dogs in a bun.
I told Star Trek Beyond to Star Trek Beyond to my friend. He went to go watch it and he loved it. Awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
I liked it.
Star
I
Trek
thought
Beyond
it
was
really
a
fun.
great movie. I wasn't here for that episode, but Star Trek Beyond was so good.
Yeah, it was probably my favorite of the Star Trek movies.
It was
It
great.
was really good. It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
To me, I think this is probably one of the strongest reboot cinematic franchises that's been done in a very long time.
Yeah, that could be a discussion that we have next week too. It's just reboots and remakes.
Reboots and remakes. We could do that.
Hitoki was telling me, Hitoki? He started watching the Ghostbusters reboot and he fell asleep.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have no desire to go see that. Like I don't have any problems with the cast. With it being an all female reboot. I just have a problem with it being a reboot. And them not because they could have done an all female cast and tied it in that was their daughters.
So you don't like the? Well, I mean, to me, I guess the most common complaint is the fact that it kind of misleads you to think that it's a continuity, and it's not. As
Yeah.
far as like,
The first trailer that came out said 30 years ago, and it.
Four
They
scientists.
screwed it right there. They should
Like
not
4
say that.
scientists saved New York City. Technically, 3 scientists.
Yeah. It just it seemed.
So you feel like if they're gonna do a reboot, do a full reboot.
Oh,
not
yeah.
kinda.
Barry asked,
Yeah.
would you do Korean movies?
Why not?
We did get some suggestions. Josh actually has not seen the original Old Boy yet.
There is one zombie movie everyone is doing the reaction.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Which one is
Oh,
that?
Maybe we'll
is it, Don't Breathe comes out soon too, I think.
Train to Busan or something? Dude. Oh, okay, guys.
So it's a zombie movie? A Korean,
Busan something.
a
Train to
Korean
Busan.
zombie movie?
That might be it. Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
All right, yeah, we'll look it up.
We'll figure it out.
So we'll figure out what
Thank
we're going
you.
to do next week. We have options. If we don't do it next week, we'll do it the following week.
Yeah, we can
Figure
post
it out.
it. We can post it in the comments here on Africa or on YouTube and on Twitter.
Awesome.
We'll come
I've
with
taken the Train to Busan.
I took the last.
That's what I call my weekends.
Train.
Training to Busan.
Yeah.
Well, let's
And by Busan, I mean booty. So moving on.
yeah, let's on that note.
Oh,
Again,
why not be my note?
On that note.
well, we've been wrapping this up for like 10 minutes now. So
Okay,
let's call it quits.
Bye! And no.
Well, it's good. We'll see you guys next week, 9:00-ish Monday night.
Yep. Thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget to follow us on
Everywhere.
our channels. Everywhere. On social media, we have links. Yeah.
Peace. Deuces.
Out.
Bye-bye! Oh!
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.